Thompson wondered if ISI involvement in terrorism included the attacks of 9/11. On October 1st, the FBI discovered evidence linking the alleged hijackers and al-Qaeda by following a money trail that ended at Mohammed Atta in Florida.
Suspected hijacker Mohammed Atta received wire transfers via Pakistan and then distributed the cash via money orders bought here in Florida. A senior law enforcement source tells CNN the man sending the money to Atta is believed to be Ahmed Umar Saeed Sheikh.
He reportedly is controlling certain aspects of the financial transactions of the al-Qaeda network.
Once a standout student at the London School of Economics, the British-born son of Pakistani parents speaks 5 languages.
The story made news in every major newspaper. With 9/11 paymaster identified as an alleged al-Qaeda moneyman, it seemed that the U.S. finally had its proof that al-Qaeda was involved. The U.S. war on terror could now move ahead. But what most of his post-9/11 reports about Omar Saeed Sheikh had failed to mention was that at the same time Sheikh dropped out of the London School of Economics to presumably join al-Qaeda. He had also joined the ISI.
Arresting officer A.K. Jain says under questioning, Omar Sheikh admitted he was supported by the Pakistan government's intelligence service, the ISI.
He had told me that.
He admitted to you?
Oh, yes.
And after his release, it was very clear that he was provided protection and safe haven in Pakistan with the direct support, with the knowledge, and obviously with the connivance of the Pakistani intelligence.
Only 2 days after the invasion of Afghanistan, the Times of India reported the FBI discovered credible evidence that $100,000 was wired to alleged hijacker Mohammed Atta by 9/11 paymaster Omar Saeed Sheikh on the orders of the ISI Director, Lieutenant General Mahmoud Ahmed.
Had that been the head of the Iraqi intelligence agency, do you think we would have heard of it?
You have to understand that Lieutenant General Mahmoud Ahmed was a key player.
William Pepper is an international lawyer and consultant to the Pakistani government.
Indian state intelligence came upon this transfer. It was then that the Times of India was able to get this information, and the FBI got involved in this whole situation because this was now becoming very public as a result of the Indian investigation.
Though the evidence was never publicly disclosed, Indian intelligence claimed that the FBI had privately confirmed the story to them, and it soon made every major Indian newspaper. In the U.S., only a single news outlet even mentioned the allegation. The information was reported as an internet-only story on the editorial section of the Wall Street Journal website.
It had this cutesy title, but it contained this completely explosive information.
After the Times of India story broke, paymaster Omar Saeed Sheikh was no longer the apparent proof that al-Qaeda was the sole sponsor of the attacks. Instead, Saeed Sheikh, acting on the orders of the ISI, appeared to be the smoking gun of Pakistani involvement in 9/11.
And instantly, within that day, basically, Saeed Sheikh becomes persona non grata. And then a whole bunch of other people are put forth as the paymaster.
Over the next several months, authorities began confusing the news media with a bewildering variety of alternate names for the paymaster, each sounding similar to Omar Saeed Sheikh.
No, it's this guy. No, it's this guy. They keep changing the story about who the guy is, and it becomes hard to keep track.
By the one-year anniversary of 9/11, Newsweek had concluded that the paymaster remains almost a total mystery. The 9/11 Commission would ultimately conclude that the question of who financed the attacks is of little practical significance.
And in my opinion, it seems to be a bunch of smoke and mirrors to try to really hide the fact that there's money coming from the ISI going to the hijackers.
If we were really going after the people who sponsored al-Qaeda, wouldn't we be bombing Pakistan?
Are we better off in Pakistan or in Iraq in terms of beating terrorism? I would say to you, if you'd ask me that question, I would say, no question. Let's forget about Iraq and let's focus on Pakistan.
And here the story took another unexpected turn. Several top news sources had all reported that the Pakistani ISI director had actually been in Washington for a rare visit during the week of September 11th.
Yes. Are you aware of the reports at the time that ISI chief was in Washington on September 11 and on September 10th, $100,000 was wired from Pakistan to these groups here in this area? And why he was here, was meeting with you or anybody in the administration?
I have not seen that report, and he was certainly not meeting with me. Yes?
LA Weekly reported that on the very evening of September 11th, U.S. State Department officials began negotiating the terms of the U.S.-Pakistani partnership with ISI Director Mahmoud Ahmed, the very man who was alleged to have ordered the wire transfer to Mohammed Atta. The talks continued over the next several days before the Lieutenant General returned to Pakistan on September 14th.
I've come to meet a man who used to live in Pakistan. He tells me he used to spy on al-Qaeda, but was ratted out. He fears for his life so much now, I can't even tell you which country I'm in, never mind which city. What he tells me contradicts Pakistan's stated policy to hunt down al-Qaeda. He says that back in 2006, al-Qaeda's number 2, Ayman al-Zawahiri, was informed ahead of time of a U.S. plan to assassinate him. Did Ayman al-Zawahiri know this attack was coming? Had he been tipped off?
Yes.
He'd been tipped off?
Yes.
Who tipped him off?
ISI.
Pakistani intelligence tipped off Ayman al-Zawahiri.
Because I've told you that they're playing a double game.
That's incredible.
After my security.
I cannot tell you who this man is, but what I can say is that he is a Pakistani and has spied on al-Qaeda. He says that not only is the army aiding Kashmiri freedom fighters, it is also helping al-Qaeda and the Taliban. You've given information to the ISI Pakistani intelligence services about the existence of these al-Qaeda camps?
Yes, time to time, yeah.
And what have they done?
They are the main people who are training them.
The Pakistani government is?
Yes.
Training al-Qaeda?
Yes.
How can that happen? The Pakistani government is supposed to be opposed to al-Qaeda.
The retired junior commissioned officers are the main trainers in the camps, training Chechens, Arabs, and some Kashmiris and Afghans.
This video, shot in 1998, shows the bond between al-Qaeda and Pakistan's Kashmiri fighters. They provided protection for Osama bin Laden on the very day he declared war on America. And U.S. military officials have personally told me they know that al-Qaeda, the Taliban, and Kashmiri groups have teamed up.